Last week on the Personal Growth Podcast, Dwayne and Eric sat down with Aaron Anderson and discussed real estate, relationships, and meditation. Join us now for episode 20. Let's find out what the boys have in store right here on the Personal Growth Podcast, recorded live in front of no studio audience at the TriPoint Studios.
Sweet. Thank you, Eric, for the introduction.
What the? Don't thank me. Thank the announcer. I keep telling you.
Do we just say... Thank you, announcer, for the announcements.
Yes, just thank announcer, just like we thank producer.
Okay. Thank you, announcer. Eric.
Dwayne.
I'm so glad that you are here.
Yeah.
We have stumbled into, well, not stumbled, just normal walked into a conversation.
Right.
As you came in through the door, producer and I were discussing some interesting things that it seems that you, of all people, would be able to add some some good information.
I'm ready.
And what do you call it? A little back and forth action.
I am so ready for this discussion.
Okay, quick question. Scott, how did we get to talking about flat earthers?
We're sitting here before everybody showed up. And we were looking at the screensaver on my TV. Oh, and it had a picture of the Earth.
From outer space.
And I asked you, does that look flat to you?
And I said you could make anything look flat if you have the right camera lens.
That's true.
And vice versa.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yes, and then it just kind of continued from there.
Yeah. Eric.
So here's my thing when it comes to flat earthers. First of all, you're some of the dumbest people on the planet. And if you're a flat earther and you're listening to this podcast right now, know that I think you're an idiot. Because 90% of us walk around with devices in our pockets that contain all of the information you could ever want. There is no reason for anybody to be presented with facts and still be like, no, I just choose not to believe that. Like, you're an idiot. You're all dumb. The earth is round. It's been proven to be round. And if you don't believe me when I say that there's a machine in our pockets, that I'm just going to ask Google a random question, and I will get an answer, and it'll be fantastic. All right. Hey, Google. What is the square root of 5,632,953.5?
Square root of 5,632,953.5 is approximately 2,373.384.
It's that easy to find out any kind of information you want. Hey, Google. Who was in the cast of the movie Clueless? Oh, this one's taking a second. Because it's got to bounce information off a satellite in space that's revolving around our round planet. You fucking morons. Anyway, Paul Rudd, Alicia Silverstone. It's all right there.
It doesn't want to tell you all of it out loud, though.
No, sometimes it doesn't give me the answers out loud. But
what
still,
would we do without Alexa?
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, technology has come so far. There's literally no reason anybody has for being ignorant about anything.
The problem is they're choosing to be.
Yeah,
they actually
they're being willfully ignorant.
Yeah,
to the fact fighting. That like
there's no gravity. By the way,
yeah, it's just insane. It's just insane to me.
And these are the same type of people that think that, what is it, NASA's fake?
Yeah.
And, and that the moon landing was
the moon landing
real?
Was fake and all this other bullshit. Like,
do you think that that's actually a possibility, though?
No.
Not even a little bit?
No, I don't. Okay.
There's entirely too much evidence to show that that the globe is round. And
No. I'm talking about us landing on the moon.
Oh. Do I think that we have landed on the moon?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
I believe it.
I do too.
I wasn't there.
No, but
see, because here's the thing. I mean, despite what our Senate would have you believe, evidence is important. They may not be wanting to look at it for the impeachment proceedings, but in all other facets of everyday life, evidence is important. And all the evidence indicates that we're floating around on a round ball in space. Like, and there are pictures of Mars and Saturn and Jupiter and all the other fucking planets in the solar system. We're the only one that's shaped like a frisbee and not a basketball. Get the fuck out of here.
Let me play the flat earther for a minute. You ready?
Sure.
The pictures are fake.
Nope. No, they're not.
That was all. I'm done. With
that's all.
That's all they say.
It's unbelievable to me that like NASA's just designed to fool everybody into thinking that the Earth is like, what? Where do these people get these ideas? Like, I genuinely wish that I could slap flat earthers in the face and try to knock them out of their nonsense.
So there was a book written by, I can't think of his name, many years ago before they actually. What I was I don't remember the name of the author. Excuse me. I don't have enough details to be able to back this up, so that's why I pulled back. But basically, we've known that the Earth has been around for a very, very long time. Centuries. And some people still believed it was flat. And there was a book written about it. And it actually died out. And then, I don't know, late 1800s, maybe before that. It for some reason had a resurgence, right? And it became very popular. And then it almost completely died out again. And then some jackass named, can't think of his name either. But anyways, he brought it back and did a YouTube channel, and it just exploded.
I believe his name is Mooney Fakerton. Mooney Fakerton is his name. It doesn't fucking matter what his name is because he's an idiot just like everybody else who believes that the Earth is flat. Like, I just don't. Like, flat earthers and people who won't vaccinate their children are two of the most irritating people. Vaccines don't cause autism, you morons.
Why are you saying that?
Because it's true.
How do you know that is true? You struck a nerve with me on the vaccination thing.
Because again, all you have to do is look
Google
up
something.
Look up the information.
First of all, who's in control of these vaccinations and who's producing them?
Medical people.
Okay, and then who's in charge of those people?
I don't know, but why do you think we don't have polio anymore?
I don't have any answer to that question, but all I'm saying is
we developed vaccines.
No, listen. We as a culture are so willing to give trust to a government that does not have our interest in heart. Like, who's to say they're not putting other types of bullshit into those vaccinations? I don't know anything about, like, whether it causes autism or whether or not, like, it's actually going to stop an outbreak of measles or anything like that. I'm very uneducated as far as the vaccinations are concerned. But to say I trust the people that are in charge of why that's going out is not something that I care to say.
Well, according to the CDC.gov, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention,
ran by the government,
autism spectrum disorder is a developmental disability that is caused by differences in how the brain functions. People with ASD may communicate, interact, behave, or learn in different ways. Blah, 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 blah. 1 in 59 children have been identified with ASD in communities across the United States. There is no link between vaccines and autism. Some people have had concerns that ASD might be linked to the vaccines children receive, but studies have shown that there is no link between receiving vaccines and developing ASD. In 2011, an Institute of Medicine report on 8 vaccines given to children and adults found that, with rare exceptions, these vaccines are very safe. So, yes, some people might respond negatively to certain vaccinations, but it's not giving children autism. I won't sit here and say the vaccines don't hurt you, because a couple years ago, I got the flu shot when I got a new job, and I was sick for 2 days. Because that's essentially what the flu shot is, as far as I understand it, is they inject you with a little bit of the flu.
You signed up for that.
I had to, otherwise I couldn't go to work. They wouldn't let. I was working at a hospital. I had to get a flu shot.
See, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Well, I'm around sick people. They don't want me to make things worse.
Because
when I'm bringing them their cheeseburger.
No, like if you're sick, you shouldn't be at work, right?
Well, yes, absolutely. Right. And if I get the flu, I'm not going to work. But
so what they're doing is not really. It's like, oh, okay, well, let's make sure that our employees stay as our employees. We don't actually fucking care if they get the flu or not. We just want them to be able to show up to work.
No, well, some people get a flu shot and don't get sick. I just got sick for a couple of days. But you can have the flu and not show symptoms. Like, it can incubate, just like chicken pox or anything else that you can carry as a virus and not show symptoms of for a few days. So, for all I know, I could go to work feeling fine, wake up the next morning, and I've got strep throat. And then all of a sudden, everybody I worked with is at risk of also getting strep throat because it's contagious.
What's the most likely cause of a person getting the flu?
I don't know. I don't know what causes the flu.
Dude, okay, so I'm just going to go out on a limb and assume that it's because their immune system has not been boosted enough. Right?
Probably, sure.
And what kind of things do people do that aren't good for their immune system?
They don't sleep. They don't eat right. They drink excess amounts of alcohol. They use intravenous drugs. They kiss dogs on the mouth after they've finished licking their own asses. I don't know why.
I mean, all those things, oddly enough, probably have a part to play in low immune systems, and so, like, whenever you introduce things like vaccines into a population who's already got really shitty habits,
right?
That makes it so that they don't have to change their shitty habits. Then you're perpetuating these problems that are causing the problem.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
No.
We're not talking about people living shitty lives and getting sick. We're talking about the measures that can be taken to prevent people from getting sick.
Yeah, no, but we are talking about
my
that.
5-year-old.
That's the same thing.
My 5-year-old has had all the shots he's supposed to have, and he's a happy, healthy child. He's at the top of his class. No signs of any kind of disorder, learning or otherwise, thus far. I mean, yeah, he gets sick just like everybody else, but it's because he goes to school in a petri dish with a bunch of other dirty kids running around playing in the dirt and, not washing their hands right or whatever. And vaccines exist
so kids don't have to wash their hands.
No, that's not at all. You still have to
and
do all those things.
So they can eat shitty food all the time. And,
well, you know what?
Later on in life become alcoholics.
Well, hopefully they
Smoke cigarettes.
Hopefully they don't do any of that stuff because that's all terrible for you. And strip clubs are just pointless anyway because if I want to spend a lot of money on a woman who's not going to have sex with me, I'm at least going to ask her to dinner. You know what I mean? Like let's go have something to eat. Then at least I'm full and you can tell me you don't want to sleep with me. I'm not going to give you $100 just because you're dancing in front of me. Like that's ridiculous. Strip clubs are useless anyway.
I concur.
You should get rid of them.
Well,
I mean, granted, everybody needs a job. I'm not hating on strippers, but strip clubs are kind of pointless.
Let's take it back to flat earthers.
Yes. Fuck those people.
Man, there's so much anger.
I do. I don't know. I'm in a very weird mood.
I'm
today.
okay with it.
Like, I don't know if it's like some kind of mental thing or whatever, but like, I'm just not in a great mood today. So you want to get me talking about shit that pisses me off? Let's fucking go. I'm ready, boy.
Center Earth.
Center Earth? What's that?
It's a hole in there. There's no core to the Earth.
Is that something they believe?
Not flat earthers, because it would be round. But there are people that believe that there's a center Earth. And that there's an entrance through, I believe it's the North Pole somewhere.
Of course.
Yes, of course. And inside, there is an earth in there where all the dinosaurs are.
Oh, my God.
Is that Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie?
Well, there's the Journey to the Center of the Earth, which is the same concept.
Is that Jules Verne?
I don't know who wrote it, the original story. I have no idea.
I would be more inclined to believe that than to believe that the Earth is flat, because there are some species of fish or other kinds of monsters in the ocean that we don't know about because we can't get down far enough to find them.
Well, what about the ring Earth?
That's what? All right, what's that about?
Just what it sounds like.
You're going to have to do better than that.